Well, hello everybody. Long time no here. No, I did not disappear. However, I really did not realize what the heck I put myself into by adopting a puppy. And what a great puppy it is. His name is Tiger, if you don't follow me on Facebook. But trust me, it was a shock to the system. I had a dog when I was like much younger and I completely forgot about it, right? So as soon as I got over the what the was I thinking phase and finally caught on some sleep, the monthlies, were not possible. So sorry about that, but I guess and I hope you understand. So here we are. Yay. So this particular time we are looking for transition of Aries. I'm going back to actually doing tarot scopes, like not necessarily for a month only, even though technically that would make it easier for me. So sort of like transition 23rd to 23rd sort of a thing, right? So let's jump right in, guys. And if this resonates, please subscribe, please share, please like. And yes, to get a reading with me, please check it on my website, ktarot.ca. So let's jump into your scopes for this particular Aries transition. Hi Virgo, today pussycats are just deciding to visit all these readings and you're getting exquisite visit from Matrix over here. So, yeah, good luck, right? So let's see what we have over here. It is kind of like really interesting. I'll be telling you the names of the cards as we come along because not everybody knows it. So in the past you have Four of Sky. As you can tell, look at this. I don't want to see the sun or everything. It's a lavender. It's sleeping time. Maybe, it was the time for you to wake up refreshed, to start like a moving forward, or maybe kind of like you felt that you were sitting on something for quite a long time and that something kind of like really needs to be placed in motion. Usually this card really shows up where we try to kind of like turn off the phone and minimize the things when we tell people we are busy, even though like we are doing really nothing. And also at the time, usually at this kind of like time, we feel that the time is just like slipping through our fingers. It's kind of not enough hours in a day for us. The bottom of the deck was Earth Tome, which is great because you're Virgo. Like we have Earth over here, we have Earth King, we have Earth Tom, and we have the World, kind of like having those Earth flavor over here. So Earth Tom is like really about that black horse, about something coming through. Maybe somebody's just going to surprise you by maybe showing up as a friend, as a support. Maybe somebody you really didn't even counted on or didn't have it in your field of vision. Earth Tone is always that really nice, gentle kind of quality in people where, like they kind of like come with, I'll take care of you. Yeah, you don't have to do anything. Just relax. Look at that. I got it. I have you. And you also have Karma card. So we have two tens reflecting each other, mirroring each other. Interestingly enough, one is like Ten of Sky and one is the Wheel. So it's almost like from thorns to the stars, as they say, right? So look at here. The kitty is scared. He's lost his eye. His tail is broken. There is a storm coming through it and water. Nowhere to run. It kind of like really feels, oh my goodness, is this like my 10th life? Is this it? I really don't know what to kind of like do this here, right? It usually talks about when the relationship comes to an abrupt end, or maybe somebody had job kind of like lost, or kind of contract is broken, something is not going on in a good direction, and kind of like it feels like that kind of ending came out of nowhere, and almost like you woke up and it was like something completely different. You have been transported and you're asking yourself, like, how long was I really reading? Maybe there was like some kind of like a level of victimization, maybe kind of like, you know, somebody kind of like took advantage of you, and you kind of like feel that, yeah, you know, this was not right. I did so much for you, and I really don't feel that this is kind of like the way to be treated by anybody, especially not from you, right? It's kind of like it was this cartoon that they put on my Facebook where the kitty is looking at the Facebook and she said, he blocked me. The kitty cat, right? He blocked me. He gave me the fleas. One kind of like those things. What I did for you, what I suffer because of you. One of those things, right? So it also could be that you're grieving something, and that also that maybe this could actually be therapist. To me, there's like some kind of like soft place to fall, but it's more of a friend. It's more like certain things need to go in a certain direction, right? The only kind of like thing that I would say here is just make sure that you're not falling in that kind of like role of victim, because then you kind of create this weird chemistry where you're making other people pity you, right? And then it's kind of like really hard to change, because change is like something that is actually really coming your way. You have this, you know, the wheel. You have like 2 karma card in your reading for this particular transition of Aries. So Aries is a fire sign, fire, earth, kind of like it's neither here nor there. It could be kind of like scorched earth kind of a thing that can kind of like apply. There's like clearly for you ability and willingness to kind of like start moving forward, but you're moving forward in a kind of very methodical way. Of course, you're being earth, you're kind of like Virgo, you're a planner, and I really think this king of earth king is representing you. That would be the proverbial king of pentacles, and we also have crossing it 3 of fire. So there is like this essence of, look, I am making my mark. I have been here. It's going to be here now. It's going to be here for who knows how long. And it's like somebody who is really not afraid of hard labor, not afraid of kind of like really go down in the trenches and deserving what they really want to, where they want to get. It's interesting enough that we have this progression. We go from Earth Tom to Earth King. So it could be that somebody is really growing on you. It could be that you're actually seeing something completely new in a person. And it also could be because, to me, this is my card of friendships, relationships, partnerships, that somebody's going to shift the role they have in your life. And maybe somebody you had around, but you kind of like put them in a sort of like friend zone, and you kind of like really never seen that kind of spark going on. Maybe it was somebody who was basically your shoulder to cry and to kind of like tell your story, and you kind of like felt, well, you know, I'm feeling kind of like really safe with this person. But you also haven't noticed or didn't pay any attention to interest. You have to keep in mind if people are really willing to listen, especially if they are of the opposite gender, they possibly do have kind of like some agenda that is really, really going on. And this is where this reading becomes really interesting, because in your kind of like heart desire, you have 9 of Sea. And you know, there is one card, it's like 9 of Swords or 9 of Sky in this deck, which is kind of like showing all these nightmare dreams. But look at this, there's like nothing but fantastic. Oh my goodness, I'm getting a kitten and mice and milk and fish and birds and a tomcat, right? And I can kind of like really kind of like catch birds, and like somebody's giving me nice food. So it's all kind of like purring and pleasant dreams. There's like this feeling of, I call it warm blanket. And a cold winter day, you're like, imagine you're sitting in front of the fireplace and there's like this warm, beautiful, white, fluffy blanket that is kind of like enveloping you. And this is kind of like where you are coming into. It is related to your card, the Hermit, and the Hermit is like about finding out what you really need, what would really be that, as I said, your heart desire. And they're like these big dreams. And 9 of Sea is like saying, look, I really need to go there, right? There's like somebody in your life who is not necessarily in step with you. Somebody could be a little bit behind, or this can simply talk about this person who has quote unquote left. The Eight of Sea in this particular card, we see the kitty listening to the shell, listening to distant oceans, and wondering, maybe I could be better off going there. I don't know, I'm just absolutely fine here, but maybe there is something else. This as well could be maybe representing how you treat someone that somebody else feels that you walked away, and hey, why did you do that? I mean, was it not good enough? Somebody was definitely here feeling displaced in the situation, in a sort of a way that there is this big question posed: why? Why has this been done, right? Well, obviously there was some kind of clear reason for that, and this honestly indicates to me that there is like some kind of like moving on, or you're meeting somebody who moved on yourself. If you're single, if you don't have any of kind of like these things, maybe somebody who's been through hardship and finally they're back on their feet, and finally they're like willing and able to kind of like think about these big dreams and have these like big hopes for themselves. Because after all, you're getting this Fire King. I mean, you also have Earth King, which most likely is you, but it could be that you guys have choices and you really don't even know what basically to pick. One is going to provide you that slow and steady, very similar to your attitudes, what you want, but not necessarily give you all this kind of fireworks and flavor. And then you have like lots of fire over here. It's going to be basically interesting situation where you will more or less the entire month worry, like, what decision do I make? This card here is talking about a kitty, Two of Wands, Two of Fire. Well, should I stay in this comfort of this warmth, or should I just go in adventure, right? Kind of a thing. Now, I'm wondering if this is you, if this is somebody from the past, because you're going from 3 to 2 and we are going from 9 to 8. It could be somebody from the past coming back, and you're like scratching your head and wondering what to do. Maybe some of you have already kind of half moved forward and kind of like decided, okay, the worst is over, you know, sky has fallen and I can only go up. I just cannot be more beaten. And when you're dead, you cannot be, you know, extra dead, right? So from that point on, it's kind of like this big rebuilding, and this rebuilding was now putting you into this process. This is the karmic wheel, and this is the karmic card. So something is maybe unfinished still. Something is maybe unsaid, or somebody still wants to say something. Or you're going to, because we are still going through this Mercury retrograde, you might see an old movie. You might hear an old song that is simply going to almost like push the button with a whole bunch of feelings coming through, and you kind of like evoking it. So it's going to be that feeling of accomplishment. It's going to be feeling, oh my gosh, you know, I've been through something, and, you know, it could be something as simple, hey, you know, it is a time to start being more active, to start kind of like doing different things, to start dating, to have choices, to kind of like even present yourself in a kind of like better way. Some of you will be shopping and getting new clothes and getting groceries. Some of you might be actually even putting a little bit of red in your hair, or even orange. And I know, like, I mean, you're going like, ee, you're Virgo, you like beige color, you like earthy colors, right? But trust me, it's going to be a little bit of flavor this particular month, because it's going to be something that you'll be trying, and you will really feel very strong. There's going to be really high confidence that is going to be really experienced. Keep in mind that Fire King, if this is a person who is coming in life, not necessarily that you are becoming this flavor, somebody who is like amazing everywhere. It's kind of good at work, possibly have their own business, and it's somebody who is taking kids to different kind of like things and having time to be with you, and you're going, oh my gosh, can I kind of like catch up? So it's going to be kind of like really positioning and thinking how your life really changed for the better. I have picked up one more card for you over here, and you got Enlightenment card over here, right? To me, this is like a card about relief. You know, in my coaching, I teach people kind of like to open arms like that. It feels almost like that we are releasing certain things. It feels like that we are saying, hey, you know, I'm in God's hands, and I will accept what is given to me, and I will embrace my fears. And I really think this is what it is. This is why this card somehow stumbled in your reading, because everything here was like nice and dandy, and this card and possibly Four of Sky were like making me scratch my head, right? So possibly this this journey that you're on for this particular month is more about a journey than a destination, because you're kind of like cleaning something. You guys are a highly organized sign, but there is like this whole essence of things are getting really organized and sorted out, right? So this is about support, and it's about courage, and it's about confidence, and maybe something that you didn't want to see, something that you didn't want to deal with, all of a sudden is kind of like appearing in a completely different light. So it is about manifestation. Whenever you get this like third chakra, it relates to our instinct and how our life is evolving through that instinct, right? So in particular, right, this is kind of like a regal gold energy. So I don't know, like if you guys are necessarily dealing, I mean, I do see some signs, of course, fire signs, earth signs, and I also see Sagittarius over here, and this could be actually a Leo's energy, kind of like that really royal kind of energy. So this is kind of like earthy, which is you, earthy brown, and this kind of like royal gold that we see here. It's almost like creation of something really spectacular, right? It almost like feels to me that you have been through some kind of experience, and this enlightenment and the sun kind of like almost like bathing you is giving you this extra strength, where you're going to feel optimistic, you're going to feel that you can lead others, you're going to feel that you're making right decisions, you're going to feel really confident in your choices. And it really sucks to be you, Virgo, like, you know, 2 really good choices, maybe even 3 choices, and you know, you are really in a position to choose, and that's why the world card showed up here, right? And the world is yours, and just go with this. So dear Virgo, this is general reading. If any of these messages came through and it resonated with you, like, please subscribe, because obviously, you know, I am your messenger. If you want to wish to get a longer reading, contact me via cattarot.ca, and of course you can see my daily tarot via Instagram and Facebook. So my dear Virgos, hopefully I will see your comments, would like to know what you say, and until the next time, you know that I love you. All the best.